Every file we save, every little document we create, it leaves a digital trace. Most of the time, it's just digital dust, right? A jumble of data we totally forget about. But sometimes, if you look really closely, you can piece all those fragments together and find a story. And today, that's exactly what we're doing. We're on a digital excavation, piecing together a life from a scattered online archive. So our story kicks off right here with this really cryptic piece of French about mapping electromagnetic pollution. It seems completely random, doesn't it? Well, that's exactly how we felt. This is clue number 1 in a digital puzzle we're going to solve together in this explainer.
Okay, so first things first, let's lay out all the evidence. What we're looking at is a collection of seemingly random and totally disconnected digital files, a true digital mystery box.
So what's actually in this box? Well, a little bit of everything. We've got invoices, career portfolios, info from a French textile school, newsletters about technical education, science fair emails, even course lists for human resources. It's just a complete jumble with no obvious connection at all. And then, buried in all these super complex documents, we find this, a single mysterious letter T. At this point, it felt less like we were looking at an archive and more like we were on some kind of digital scavenger hunt with clues that just made things even more confusing. But, as we sifted through all that digital chaos, a pattern started to emerge, a name. And with that name, a person began to take shape, giving us our first real lead in this whole thing. So we started digging, right? We're cross-referencing documents and seeing all these different versions of the same name. But then, boom, we found the key that unlocked it all. One consistent email address showing up across multiple files. And suddenly, our mystery man had a name, Chinangombe Fiston. Okay, now that we have a name, we can start to piece things together. We found this fragmented CV, and it tells us he's an electrical engineering student at St. Pease College, and he's getting hands-on experience as a trainee with the local utility, City Power. And just like that, this digital ghost starts to look like a real person. But this is where the story gets really interesting, because this wasn't just some student's collection of class notes. As we dug deeper, we realized we'd stumbled upon a massive personal encyclopedia of electricity. The files were just packed with these incredibly detailed notes on core electrical engineering principles. This wasn't just some student cramming for an exam. This was someone systematically breaking down and documenting the fundamental physics that makes our power grid work. And just look at the level of detail here. This is the equation for synchronous motors. Now, to put it simply, this is not your Circuits 101 stuff. No way. This is the kind of complex math you need to know to design and manage the industrial scale systems that power our cities. And it's clear he wasn't just hitting the books. This collage from his files proves he was getting his hands dirty with the actual hardware, the kind of training equipment you use to test these really complex theories out in the real world. So what we're looking at here is basically a virtual encyclopedia. It covers the entire A to Z of electrotechnology. It really shows a deep, deep commitment to understanding every single part of his field. All right, so having all this knowledge is one thing, right? But getting it officially recognized by all the right people, well, that's a whole other beast. And this is where things get complicated. We enter this dizzying maze of bureaucracy. Just look at this list of acronyms. Each one is another layer of paperwork, another hurdle to clear in South Africa's education, engineering, and even security sectors. It is a true alphabet soup of regulation. Yeah, this was never just about getting a diploma. To actually work in this field, he had to master this incredibly complex web of legal and technical standards, everything from government regulations to military-grade specifications and international electrical codes. One wrong move, and a project could be dead before it even starts. So you might be asking, why? Why go through all this hassle? Why master all this bureaucracy? Well, because the stakes are incredibly high. And buried deep in this archive, we found the payoff. A government bid form, in his name, for a project worth 1 million rand. This is where all that hard work could turn into a life-changing opportunity. So when you take a step back and you look at all these scattered pieces, the technical notes, the bureaucratic forms, the high-stakes bids, what do you actually have? It's so much more than just a collection of files. What we uncovered here, it's so much more than just a resume. It's a detailed blueprint for ambition. It's this powerful testament to the incredible focus and the sheer grit it takes to build a technical career from the ground up in the world today.
And if you lay it all out on a timeline, the trajectory is just, wow, it's so clear and impressive. In just a few years, he goes from being a student to a certified assessor to a trainee at a major utility, and finally, a bidder on a major government contract. This is a story of just relentless forward motion. And, mixed in with all the technical jargon and all the bureaucratic forms, we found this: career guidance questions he'd saved. It's just a really powerful reminder of the human side of this whole journey, those quiet moments of self-reflection to make sure you're still on the right path. What started as a mystery box of random digital files ended up telling this powerful story of ambition, of the meticulous work it takes to build a future, one document at a time. It just goes to show that our digital footprint isn't only a record of where we've been, it can be the actual blueprint for where we're going. And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about.